What is going on, everybody? This is Flying Cryptos. We are gonna just let some people get into the stream here over just a couple minutes, and we're gonna be talking about Litecoin, sub $100 Litecoin, sub 30K Bitcoin. My thoughts on it, what we're looking at, what the charts have showed us so far over the last day, and some support resistance levels to be looking at. I'll do a little recap on how I'm going to be trading this with laddered bids, dollar cost averaging, which I am partially into Litecoin already at $100, but it is a small portion, and why I think we will be seeing sub $100 possibly tomorrow or tonight. And there's some variables here, so let's just make sure that everybody can hear me and that everything is going well, and just let a few more people get into the stream so we can answer some questions and go over this together and make a good stream. So welcome, everyone. Grab yourself a nice Sunday afternoon beer, and hopefully everything goes smoothly with the stream. We don't have any problems, and that all of you can hear me. So far, everything seems to be pretty good. What's up, everybody? So while we wait for some people to get in the stream, I will talk real quick. I will talk real quick about the Litecoin Watch, because I just love to talk about it all the time. And the last time I talked about it, I didn't take this thing off. So I just want to show you guys up close what this thing is like, because I'm going to support Carlos for his work, because it's amazing. That is the Litecoin Watch. And they're absolutely beautiful. Carlos Estrada made these. There's only 750 of them ever made. All right, so we got some people tuning in. Go to the comments. Another quick thing I wanted to mention, because I like to get this quick stuff out of the way, because it really helps support the analysis that I provide to you. Crypto ties. So what goes great with a watch? A tie. And somebody is calling me. But so the crypto ties, Litecoin ties, guys, I'm super excited for them. And I actually posted a picture of what the gray and silver Litecoin tie looks like. If you go to cryptoties.com and you just go to this email box right here, subscribe to be notified when Litecoin, Bitcoin, and Ethereum ties drop. If you are interested, just put your email in there and it will let you know. There's only going to be 500 of these ever made in this limited edition run. They're designed and made by Adamero, which actually stands for wealth, fortune, and fame in Italian. They're silk embroidered and made in Italy, and they are amazing. It's nothing like the cheap printed ties you're going to find on Etsy or anything like that. I'm not going to really talk too much about that, but I'll go over it real quick later. Talking about Trader SZ real quick, just because he posted shorted 35.2 with a target of 29,000 on Bitcoin. And some of these, some people, some good players on Twitter are targeting some figures lower than me. And these are all things that are still possible, and likely, provided we get another solid flush like this down. So we'll go into all that stuff. We got a few more people joining the chat. What's up, everybody? Let's go Litecoin, the real sleeping giant. Yep. When that LTCBTC chart does break eventually, I just don't think it's going to happen yet, but when it does, we're definitely going to get a powerful move if we get a convincing break from the bulls. So definitely looking at that multi-year pattern. And I think when we get a bottom, guys, it's going to be the best buy on Litecoin you're ever going to get. Star Brown 88, hello from Greece. What's up? How are you? Douglas Young, always goes down after I go to bed, probably after midnight. Asia will drop hammers. Yeah, that's why I'm always up at 3, 4 in the morning Easter time trading. It's just kind of the way it is. Sebastian, thanks for the calls. Follow you on Twitter. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And yes, if you guys are liking this, please smash the like button on the video and subscribe and the notification bell, because I really only do live streams. And if you want to be notified when there's a live stream, because I like to throw up the, I try to do like an hour heads up or a half hour heads up, at least you'll get a notification that I will be going live. So notification bell would be really good. And yeah, I love all your support. I'm gonna get into this soon. Getting some more people on here. So as you know, guys, I posted on Twitter of this bear flag break on Litecoin. And the other video, if you caught the other video the other day that I posted, I highlighted a lot of things. So a lot of things that I'm going to be recapping on this video and trying to go in a little bit more detail on as far as $100. Like I said that if this was going to be a bounce point for Litecoin, and that $96 was the bottom, and we were going to see this low time frame move up be convincing, we're going to really need to see it set higher lows and break through like the local resistance levels. And these aren't even really well established resistance levels, but on the low time frame we need to see a break above these small levels, and we need to see higher lows. So this was pretty much back here when I was talking, like we really just need to see like a low time frame trend change to be convinced that this is a bottom. And ever since, we've just moved sideways, and really we just formed a bear flag, and we're not really getting a big reaction right now. It's just kind of consolidating sideways. So this can get a little choppy. This can always, and I think this is a lower possibility of, this has a lower possibility of happening, but we could come back down and just double bottom here and then try to make an attempt to break it. That's always possible. A lot of it's going to depend on the momentum, but guys, I think a lot of people are waiting for Monday with the stock market, and the stock market is bleeding really hard. We got the value of the dollar going up. And this, yeah, it's a bloody stock market dump, guys. So people are kind of waiting to see what's going to come out on Monday. And as we get closer to it, I think we'll get a really good idea. I do think we could see some stuff happen tonight. If not, definitely tomorrow. The charts are going to do what the charts are going to do. We're going to do our best to follow them for guidance. And, yeah, I'll check the comments in a second. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm looking at. So we can zoom out a little bit. I mean, I'll talk a little bit about more of these levels. We got a little bit of resistance here at 115 if we wanted to see the low time frame show signs of a higher time frame trend change, and then we'd really need to break through 123. So like I said, $100, my first bid triggered, and I have bids down to $80, guys. And I talked about in the other video, if you caught that, how mixing up dollar cost averaging with the use of stop losses, I think it's very important, guys, that if we were to dump down and all your bids were triggering, we went down to $80, we come back up to try to make a break of 100. Say it happens pretty quickly. There's always a possibility now that $100 is going to be major resistance. Now, I don't think that is going to happen, but as time goes on, if we get underneath $100 and we start trading a little bit under $100, those odds are going to start to quickly increase. That $100 will be a resistance. So if we come back up to $100, it might not be a bad idea to start scaling out some of those bids that you placed towards that level, just to have a little bit of capital on the sidelines. If we reject off that, I would really start scaling out, and then we would look for lower. That's just how you're going to protect yourself a little bit. You know, that would be a smart move. So anyway, we'll go over little bits. Okay, don't forget to give us the screen. Thank you. Sorry guys, I did that before. I will recap a little bit on what I was just talking about, all right? With the visuals. You all just heard what I said. So these were the resistance levels I was talking about. The low time frames, 115, and then the 120s. And then we got this bear flag pattern, really not bouncing off of this level and setting a low time frame trend change. We haven't seen that. So that was pretty much all of what I was just talking about. Let me look at some of the questions here just to see if any that I missed. Baby Boss Rachel, do you see LTC hit all-time high again? I absolutely do. In fact, I think we could still break it in 2022. But there are really no targets that you can put on that until we have a confirmation of a bottom and a trend change on the higher time frame. Then we can use that data to give us an idea on what some targets could be. So when that happens, then I'll start talking about what I would consider to be realistic targets when that happens. All right. Yep. Just reading some comments, guys. Off the top of your head, what do you think the LTC price could be roughly by end of year? Like I said, it's really hard to tell you guys that stuff. If I said it, I wouldn't be telling you with high accuracy, and that's my reputation on the line. And you know, everyone that does say that stuff, they're really doing it for the clicks. They're doing it for the follows, and I'm not going to give you horse shit. So I'm just being straight up honest with you guys and trying to give the most sound analysis I can possible. So that's that. How low can we dump? Well, like I said, I have bids down to $80. I think that if we fall down below $100, a lot of it is going to be dictated on what Bitcoin does. You know, we look at Bitcoin and we see Bitcoin at 35,400 right now. And its next major support level isn't until 32,000 to 30,000, pretty much that range. You got that 30,000 psychological. I'll zoom out here for you guys. This right here, you got, it's really 31,830 if you want to go off the weekly here. And we got some wicks here down to 29,300. And if you want to go on the max pain absolute worst case scenario, and I'm only highlighting this because it is a plausible scenario, I'm not saying it's a likely one to happen in one great giant flush, but zoom out on Bitcoin here and you see this multi-year trend line, you know, where we got a huge bounce rally off 200s. We got support, well, fell through a little bit here, but pretty much bounced and rode all the way up here, guys. I mean, you could draw this trend line a little bit differently. I mean, if you want to be conservative, I would use these as your bounce points, because then we have 3 solid touches and just a bear trap right here. Now, if you wanted to talk max pain, Bitcoin could come down all the way to the mid 20s and hit this trend line, and I think that would be your max pain scenario. And yes, if that were to happen, we would be looking at a pretty severe situation with Litecoin, because Bitcoin Here's the thing though, this is the large time frame uptrend. Bitcoin bouncing off 25, Bitcoin's still going to be bullish. And if Litecoin doesn't get a solid bounce, Litecoin is only going to get weaker. And we're talking another solid 20% drop on Bitcoin if we had the max pain scenario. Now, let's just assume LTCBTC is moving sideways. What's 20% more on Litecoin? 20% more on Litecoin is $85. And I'll tell you what, chances are Litecoin's not going to dump 20%. It's probably going to dump a lot more than that, because Litecoin loves to bleed harder than Bitcoin when Bitcoin takes these moves down. So guys, looking at the weekly chart on the LTCBTC chart, just to add a little bit more supplement to this, on this upper trend line, which we have like 5 or 6 touches up here, pretty solid trend line. We have this rejection right here coming down. We have support right here, guys. So this is how Litecoin bleeds in the max pain scenario. I'm just highlighting the absolute worst possible scenario that could happen. If Litecoin loses this support level on LTCBTC and it bleeds harder than Bitcoin, guys, there's no support below it except maybe this trend line down here. And you're talking another 30% on top of the 20% that Bitcoin would be dropping. So 50% really on a drop of Litecoin where it is right now. Yes, that does put us at like $60, 50 something dollars. That is the absolute worst pain scenario for Litecoin I can possibly think of, and I don't think it's gonna happen right now. But as traders and analysts that consider risk to reward in every trade that they make, and using stop losses, like, we're going to have to watch that closely and be ready to react and protect our funds if the LTCBTC chart is breaking down and Bitcoin is breaking down, and if we're crashing through all of these support levels. So I think I covered that fairly well. To give you guys a highlight on the absolute worst possible expectation. Well, not expectation. I'm not expecting it. Choose my words carefully. What I am expecting is and I'll talk about what I personally think is going to happen at this moment. Go to Litecoin. So we have this bear flag right here. We have this break. We have a huge increase in volume. Okay, we're going to just need to see some more follow through over the next few candles throughout the rest of the day. Come back down, hit 100, see what happens at 100. If the volume starts to increase, the bear selling volume starts to increase, we'll probably just flash right through 100, guys, and be down in the 90s, or even possibly the 80s. But you know, we will sit here and watch this. I mean, if you were to draw a target on it, you know, the length of the flagpole is typically how you calculate a bear flag break for a target. You go off the length of the flagpole, and that says $70, guys. I just don't know if we're gonna see $70. You know, because we're at such important psychological levels with Bitcoin. Psychological level at $32,000 or $30,000. That's why I think we might not actually hit the target on that bear flag, and this really needs to see some follow through to be convincing to me. Otherwise, we could just see this forming a bigger pattern. This could just move sideways. This could also just be a bigger flag. I mean, that's the thing, guys. Like, you know, analysis does change. You got to constantly be updating your charts, following what's going on, looking for new patterns. you know, this might very well not just break right down from this as a flag. That's not a lot of consolidation, but again, we're looking at what's happening in this market, and we are not getting a lot of consolidation. We're not really getting any low time frame bounces. The low time frame bounces have been very short-lived. The biggest one we had was this one right here, which if you were following a couple streams ago, I said up here, this would probably be where you'd want to get out. And you can look at that video. It's just sit and stay patient, because in the grand scheme of things, in the high time frame, looking at the weekly chart, we are in a weekly downtrend, and the bears have had absolute control for a couple months now. And you know, moves like this, for my trading style right now anyway, in this market, it's just so easy for me to ignore, because when we zoom out and we look at the higher time frames, we have these higher time frame resistance levels that we need to really break and show a trend change for me to even be like, okay, I think the bears are exhausted. I don't think they're exhausted at all right now. And yeah, these are things you got to look for. So if you guys are loving this live stream, please give it a thumbs up, like, love it, whatever. You know, hit the notification bell, so when I do the live streams, I usually post 30 minutes, an hour ahead before I do the live stream, so you guys will get a notification, so you can catch it in the beginning, so we can interact a little bit more and answer more questions, all that good stuff. I'll just mention it real quick one more time. CryptoTides.com. The Adamiro crypto ties are going to be dropping in a couple weeks or so. So if you want a Litecoin tie to go with your Carlos Estrada's, Coin Vigilante, Litecoin Watch, or even the Bitcoin watches, Bitcoin ties, guys, scrolling down, just put your email in there and you'll be notified when it drops. So it's not going to spam you or anything. It's just going to let you know when they're available. So yeah, that was real quick. Yeah, so now let's get into some questions. You guys really help a lot when you do hit the like button and stuff, because doing the whole streams through YouTube, I usually didn't do that. I tried to do them on Twitter, but a lot of you guys weren't able to interact with me for some reason, which was no good. So that's why I'm doing them on YouTube, so we can do the YouTube live chat and I guess have a second platform, which I guess is good for everything. So all right, I covered a lot of stuff. Is it Shev or Sheev? I apologize if I pronounced that wrong, but how do you think MWeb will affect short-term price action? Bitcoin's going to control the market. I think the best time to drop, to have Mimblewimble, will be when we get a confirmation of a trend change, because we have all the bear momentum against it. So the people that are going to buy reacting off the news, I think they're going to get slaughtered, to be honest. I think a lot of people know about Mimblewimble already, and a lot of it is priced in, the excitement of it. We're anticipating it. The best time to drop it would be on a trend change, in my opinion. If they were to drop it right now, I don't think you would see much, unless Bitcoin starts to move sideways and the LTCBTC chart decouples from Bitcoin. But right now, it looks like Bitcoin's still going to take some more legs down. So it'd be kind of a bad idea to do it now, because like Bitcoin's just going to drag the entire market down. So that's my take on Mimblewimble. I am very long-term bullish on Mimblewimble. I think it's fantastic. Yeah. What is your theory on why we've had this multi-year downtrend versus BTC? Natural market devaluing Litecoin or something else? Easy to arbitrage, suppression. You know, guys, it's kind of hard to know exactly why LTCBTC has remained undervalued for such a long time. You know, this pattern, though, has been respected. This multi-year pattern, you know, sometimes these patterns get very, very tight. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't reach the apex of the pattern before they make a decision. Sometimes they break out sooner. So, you know, back in September, November, like back here, I was actually expecting that we might see a break soon. Everything looked really good, but ever since, we just kept tightening up more and more and more and more inside the pattern. And you know, that's not a bad thing, because the more we tighten up, the bigger the reaction is going to be, the more convincing the reaction is going to be, because we don't have much room to move here. So, you know, we break out, we get a convincing break out of this range. We'll have in a close, like a candle close, like above the 4,500, 5,000 range. Like I'm talking like a nice little green candle that's not just like this little peekaboo little wicks here, but an actual solid candle close. That's gonna be like, that's it, guys. We got the break on this pattern that's been here since 2017. Here we go. And that is where I see the possibility of a very huge parabolic move with Litecoin, but you can't really put a target on it right now because, guys, I'll say it again, we don't have a trend change yet. We don't have a confirmation of a bottom on a higher time frame. It's really hard to be like, okay, guys, yep, we're going to break out and go to whatever X $1,000 Litecoin, because there's going to be resistances on the way up. There's going to be pumps. There's going to be pullbacks. Will we keep the trend and continue higher? That's the thing, you know, you got to follow the trend until it changes. And there's nothing saying that there's going to be a trend that stays intact all the way up to $5, $7, $10, $20,000 Litecoin. It just doesn't happen. So there could be a cycle up that gets us halfway there and then come back down. We could be sitting there for a year or two, then we could go up. Like eventually we could hit it. And that is my problem with people that put targets on Litecoin for $3, $5, $7, $10, $20,000 Litecoin, because it's not a target. It's really what I think they're trying to say, and if they are, they need to correct their language for a lot of the new investors, is that Litecoin will probably see $10,000 or $20,000 someday. Not Litecoin's target is $10,000 or $20,000, because there's so little analysis for you to base that target off of. A lot of people on Twitter are very emotional and shorter term thinking, even though they like to sit there and hold and think they're going to hold it, you know, all the way up to whenever target hits. You know, there's just so much emotion in there, and you're going to get somebody who rides a cycle up a little bit and all the way down and be in a huge loss. They'll either sit there and hold it, holding a bag, not being able to do anything else in the market, or they'll sell out of panic, and they'll ultimately end up getting hurt. And I know it's the responsibility of the trader, the new trader, to ultimately make the decision. But we do want to try to encourage a healthy community, because if we can help avoid it, it'll increase the greater health of Litecoin. I'm talking about the coin. I'm talking about the market health of Litecoin. And that is why I posted this, and I'm not going to do anything with this right now. But 62% of you out of 21 overwhelmingly wanted me to do this. And I've been looking for alternatives, and we got a few accounts that just hate the idea. And there's been a lot of valid points. And that's when I came up with the alternative about, hey, take me out of the equation. Let's just do like a panel of multiple people, and highlight some of these accounts that are not credible. And I think that would be a good idea. And you guys just really, really wanted me to call out these people. And I just, for the sake of trying to respect the 21%, I won't. I mean, I've talked to a lot of people, and some pretty big accounts about it, you know, pretty high up in Litecoin. So we'll see if anything amounts from this, but this is supposed to be your vote. This is supposed to be what you guys want. I'm trying not to compare my analysis to it. I just wanted to go over real quick. I don't want to talk about my analysis versus their analysis of the accounts that I think are pump accounts based on my expertise, because it's not about just what I think, and I don't want to make the comparison of me versus them. But some of them are very self-obvious to you guys, the accounts I'm talking about. Some of you guys aren't. Some of you guys disagree with me and think they're right. And again, that's where people say, you know, they make their own decisions, which is cool, but I think we can help the community a little bit. I'm just a little passionate about it, guys, so that's just all I want to talk about real quick on that. But anyway, getting back to the comments, we'll wrap up soon. What's my opinion on Misconfig EXE? He's a respectable guy. I do respect him. Not everybody's gonna be right, but you know, he's followed me since I was pretty much a new Twitter, and he was a small account, and you know, I have a respect for him. I like to think that a lot of us can start coming to the table on a little bit more sound analysis, because I prefer the slow and steady wins the race, not the Litecoin is going to 1K by the end of February, thumbnail image on YouTube, you know, follow me, like me, tweet me, oh my god, this is going to be amazing. Like, I'm not like that kind of person. Trying to go after the clout. I'm trying to go after what is realistic and conservative, because that protects the new investor, even though that's not my obligation. If the market, if there's less people getting wrecked in Litecoin is gonna be stronger in the long term. If people don't keep getting wrecked, they're gonna get discouraged. We want to reduce that discouragement, right? So that kind of goes back to everything I was talking about. And if you guys do think that is very important, I'm not going to be the one that solely goes and running with this, because I don't have enough people in the community that are like, yeah, go do it, because I don't want to do it by myself. So you guys will have to go to this post and retweet it with what your opinion is on it, if you support it, and like what your ideas might be, alternatives, because there's different ways of doing this. So I'm done with that conversation now. Yeah, so Litecoin, we'll get ready to wrap up here soon, guys. Been streaming for about a half hour, which is what I try to keep them, so that way they're a little condensed and people can watch and see what I'm thinking. Amen on the shills. It is real, they do hurt people. These should only be for guidance, but unfortunately a lot of people without experience don't know any better. Yeah. All right. Do you believe LTC will ever reach its program value of 1/4 the price of Bitcoin, being that LTC has lagged in price movement and not moved in tandem with Bitcoin, although innovation and adoption has increased? I think it's possible, but I'm not going to say that it's very likely yet. But I will say that it's possible. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that being a fairly good possibility someday. It's going to depend greatly on if LTC can see new highs and become one of the most bullish coins in the market. You know, we'll need to see it really start to outperform Bitcoin. And if we have the momentum, then it's possible that we can get there. But you know, I wouldn't say that would be a target. All right. So anyway, guys, I appreciate all your comments. It was awesome to help all you. Throw your final comments in there before I get ready to head out. And before I do, guys, I'm just going to mention, if I saved you money in this downtrend, you know, if I've been giving you a lot of help, guidance that has been honestly valuable to you, because I do this for free. I only do this for tips. You know, my Venmo is in the description at Flying Cryptos in my LTC address. You know, if you guys want to shoot something that way for the help, that would be amazing, because it will encourage me to do videos more often. And believe it or not a lot of people tip. So, you know, if more people tip, I'll start doing these much more often. If not, I'll just post a tweet here and there and just do it that way, because really the analysis is dictated by the demand of how much you guys want me to do that. That's how much effort I'm going to put into it. I mean, I love it. I'm passionate about it. But to take time out of the day, sit here, talk about this, do all this, answer all these questions, reply to a million comments, all that stuff on Twitter, you know, at Flying Cryptos on Twitter, at Flying Cryptos on Venmo, all that stuff. So get ready to wrap up. Thanks so much. One last thing, Litecoin ties is at cryptoties.com. Just put your email in there if you're interested. They're going to be sick. I'm going to be wearing them. So I'll actually show you as we get closer. But yes, love you all. Thanks so much, Star Brown. Thanks for all your advice. Really appreciate it. Let's pray that the bull run is not over, because I'm 50% down. I'm sorry, man. Danny, thank you for everything you do for good. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. And I hope you all have a good one and enjoy your day. And thanks. Flying Cryptos out.